Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'd like to welcome you to yet another episode of The Gift of Giving. This is a program that features non-profit 501c3s and foundations based right here in the state of Nevada. This coming week is World Down Syndrome Day, and so it's only appropriate that we have a Down Syndrome organization as our guest this week. And so I'm very, very pleased to welcome representatives from Down Syndrome Connections. We have the president, Lisa Holmquist, and we have the vice president, Felicia Calhoun. You've been on our program before, and you brought your son Sterling and your daughter Savannah Calhoun. So thank you all for taking time out and being with us today. And I guess you got out of school today to be here, so you're lucky. So we're going to be discussing World Down Syndrome Day later in the program. But in the meantime, could you please give us a brief overview of Down Syndrome Connections and when it was founded and its history?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephen, for having us here. We are delighted to tell a little bit more about Down Syndrome Connections. In late 2021, we had our first event, which was a bowling event, and brought together families across Southern Nevada to get together and talk about the goals of the future organization. We really started in 2022. That's when we got our 501c3 designation from the IRS as a charitable organization. And we've been just starting our 5th year of operation. So we've accomplished a lot in a very, very short time. And what we do is nurture people with Down syndrome and their families through community and connections. And I feel like those goals are something that really tug at your heart, because as a person who has a son with Down syndrome myself, I know exactly how hard it can be sometimes. And so being able to bring that community together and be a part of something bigger than yourself is a really wonderful thing.
Yes, and what you've put together here between you guys, it is an amazing organization. So congratulations on that. Now, you have a son yourself, Lisa, Peter. He lives with Down syndrome, and I'm assuming that was a catalyst as to why you got involved with Down syndrome Connections, or were you involved before?
I had always been involved in
really?
different organizations, yes. And I feel like we had lived in another state where there were a lot of different options that weren't available in Nevada. So we started Down Syndrome Connections to create, to fill that void of some of the things that I felt were missing here. So especially education, advocacy are two of the biggies that we really were interested in. And Peter is 28. He does a really great job. He's helpful with a lot of things we do for the organization. We were just having him as a costumed character at one of our pancake breakfasts, so that was really cool. But Peter, when he graduated out of CCSD, he's been working with the Las Vegas Aviators, and he also works at UNLV men's basketball. And he did a stint working for Santa Claus during Enchant at the Las Vegas ballpark. So he was helping out the public, getting to see Santa.
Boy, he's already giving back.
Yeah.
Bless the son. Okay. Now, Felicia, as I said, you've been a guest on this program before with Sterling. And how long have you actually been involved with Down Syndrome Connections?
I was on the founding board, and I'm very grateful to be a part of that, and been volunteering these last whole 4 years. And, obviously I've been involved in nonprofits, throughout the years, but then when this was created, it's definitely near and dear to my heart because of this guy, Sterling.
Yeah.
Say hi. So it's a pleasure to actually be on this board and to be a part of it and help make those connections. And
cool. And we're going to get to you later in this segment, Savannah, so don't think you've gotten off the hook. Now the 3 tenets of your organization from your website, which is very comprehensive, by the way, you've done a wonderful job of putting that together. The 3 tenets seem to be advocacy, education, and support. So let's start off with advocacy. What's the involvement of the advocacy? How to go about advocating?
Well, people with Down syndrome have specific needs, and families with Down syndrome have specific needs. We have a lot of great organizations in Nevada that do cover a lot of different disabilities, and we're under that umbrella, of course. But we wanted to create an advocacy organization that specifically targeted things that were about Down syndrome.
Sure.
So, for example, in 2023 legislative session, we passed a bill called the Down Syndrome Information Act with the help of Representative Tracy Brown May. And what that did was to bring the spotlight to that one touch point that's so common for families. Whether you get a prenatal or a postnatal diagnosis of Down syndrome, it's oftentimes very scary for you. And so it had a couple different prongs in the legislation, making sure that providers were given information to help make that diagnosis much more seamless and not so scary.
Cool.
And then also to direct people to local support groups so that they would be able to have a person help them. And it's so important because you've never probably had much contact with people with Down syndrome before, and then you have a baby with Down syndrome. So that advocacy, that was a huge win in 2023 with a lot of other people who helped, including our sister organization up in Northern Nevada, Down Syndrome Network of Northern Nevada, and the Nevada Center for Excellence in Disabilities also just absolutely, we knocked it out of the park for people with Down syndrome, and it was
Nice.
such a huge win.
Well, congratulations on that accomplishment. And now, what about the education aspect?
Well, Felicia has some education parts that she has been in charge of putting up. Maybe you want to talk about our little extra PT with Kat that we do?
Yeah, we have a program that's, it's called A Little Extra PT because children and people with Down syndrome have a lower tone, so it's harder. So they need more physical therapy. And so we have, her name's Kat, and she has an extensive background as being a professor, a therapist. She was a professor with Touro University and a therapist. And so it's ages 0 to 6.
Uh-huh.
And she, she just goes there and we help the kids. Well, she helps the kids to with certain movements and sitting
Sure.
up and pushing themselves up and stuff like that. And of course, this guy goes every time. He's a little aged out of it, but it's a play group for him as well. But it's a great resource, and she's such a knowledgeable, kind-hearted human being that
That's
volunteers her own time to do this for us.
Okay.
And like
Nice.
most of our programs that are education-wise, it has a component of support in it. And I know we'll talk about support, but that for me is a big part of all the education that we do, is that supportive piece that the families get together and it's a group session. It's not individual, but the therapist will go with each individual family and work on something that they have questions about,
Yes,
which
cool.
it's just been a really nice program.
Great program.
And I do have to say that I really do enjoy seeing the families there because it's always that building to see, one another. And then while, your child's
Yes.
being taken care of, you're talking to each other and catching up or getting connections and advice and seeing what's going on with our kids and stuff like that.
Nice.
So it's very helpful
Yes.
and upbuilding.
And now you also have an a conference, a once-year conference.
We
And
do. And it
would you like to talk a
probably,
little bit about that?
I think for me, it's the most impactful program that we do because we in Nevada had not had a lot of opportunity to go places to get that cutting edge education that's available out there. And there are medical professionals. We talk about social and economic needs at our conference so that families get a wide range of information on topics that are really important and useful to them that they can take home that day and start putting to use on helping their person with Down syndrome live a more full life. And that conference also has programming for teens and adults with Down syndrome, which is a full day of hands-on concurrent programming to our general conference, giving people with Down syndrome autonomy, giving them agency, teaching them how to talk to their doctors, having fun dancing, creating
Yes.
art, and many other different things. And last year we ended with a drum circle with the entire conference together, which was
cool.
spectacular. It was so much fun and everybody enjoyed. So
Good.
Very
it's one day. Yeah, it's one day. We really connect with people all over the Western United States who come in for the day and provide super intelligent, cutting edge research and information for our families, which you can get if you go to a very expensive, long conference nationally that's never been in Nevada. But we provide a little short one-day conference that brings our families together and helps them learn different things. And it's for all ages. So if you have a baby with Down syndrome, or if you have a 65-year-old with Down syndrome, that conference will have something for you.
Okay, cool. And you don't have a date for that yet, but it will be available on your website.
Sometime in the late fall, so
Okay.
late September, early November, or late September, early October, I think is most likely date. But yes.
Well, we're
coming up.
giving out your contact information later in the program, so those interested, you can always go to the website later on in the year, and all the information will be there.
To add to that, I just wanted to say that Lisa and the conference committee does an amazing job. Every year I've gone, it is just spectacular, and I learned so much.
Yes.
And this last time, there's breakout sessions, different classes. I wanted to be in every single one, but sometimes they're at the same time. So, but it was just so interesting and just so upbuilding too, to see everybody, but it's also so informational, especially, for his age too. Now he's kind of at a mid-age. He's not a baby. He's not an adult. So it's very, very helpful. And I'm just very appreciative that they do such an amazing job every year.
One of the things you may not be aware of is that people with Down syndrome didn't used to live very long. Their life expectancy was only 25.
Yes.
And now people are living into their 60s and 70s with Down syndrome,
Great.
and bringing with it some information about health that we didn't have before. So those research projects are becoming so important as people age with Down syndrome, and a community that's not used to having to serve people with Down syndrome into their later years is also having to adjust. And there are a tidal wave coming of people with Down syndrome aging, and that's a lot of different issues that will bring up and need to be solved by our community.
Perfect. On that note, we're going to take a brief sponsorship break. Please stay with us, folks. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Savannah and her connection with Down syndrome connection.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
Ben.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. And I'd like to welcome back our guests, Lisa Holmquist, Felicia Calhoun, the daughter Savannah, and her son Sterling. And now, Savannah, let's talk to you, because you have written a book.
Yes.
So would you like to tell us first what the book is called? And hold the book up so our viewers can see it.
The book is called Adventures with My Brother Sterling.
That's a cool title. And looking at the picture on the front with you and your brother, you were significantly younger when that book was written. So how old were you when you wrote the book?
I was 8, and I was in 2nd grade at that time.
Wow. And now you're actually getting that. And how old are you now?
I'm 12.
Wow. And it's taken you a few years, but you now want to go out and get this book published.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. First, what was it that prompted you? What made you pick up the pen and paper and start writing about your adventures with Sterling? What was that?
Well, me and my mom would always try to read books each year, and we would look on Amazon to read them around my elementary school. And one year, it didn't none of the books seemed like what we wanted. They weren't pointing to what I wanted them to. So my mom and dad and me thought it would be a good idea to write a book. We never really thought about publishing. We just thought to show it around my school and to include. And we ended up writing it, and people loved it around my school. And I went on the news for it. And we were just trying to spread awareness around.
Down syndrome.
Yeah.
That's not. And so, now, did you write all the text and do all the drawings in the book?
Yes, I did.
Well, congratulations. And What was the response in the classrooms?
They were excited. Some of them were confused what Down syndrome was, so we would explain to them. In the back of our book, we actually have a glossary about like what some of the words meant, because
Nice.
second graders, they don't really understand.
No.
So we would add that and explain to them what it meant, so it would help them
Okay.
understand.
Yes.
And every time we'd also have Sterling with us so that they can see
Yeah.
and say hello and be inclusive
Uh-huh.
and educate, and they got to know somebody with Down syndrome.
That's a beautiful goal, that what you set out to achieve is obviously trying to bring greater understanding among children and even adults, I would suspect. So
Yeah.
congratulations on that. What an admirable
Thank you.
goal. And so now the book is being published, and so later on this year it's going to be available on Amazon, I'm assuming, and Barnes
Yeah.
and Noble.
Yes.
And
That's
you
our
hope to get it into the libraries as well, and also still go around to different classes in schools?
Yes.
Well, good for you. Good for you. You're really making a difference at such a young age. I'm sure your folks are very, very proud of you.
Yes.
And
yes, we are.
Sterling's blessed to have such a caring and loving sister. And I have to tell you, I have never seen Sterling that he doesn't have a smile on his face. He is always smiling. He's a happy little camper.
He's definitely got a side like anybody, but
Yes. Now, just before we move off, now when you wrote this book, do you plan on writing something you would like to pursue as a career or as a hobby, or one book's enough?
I want to see like how many people enjoy it and how many people and how it helps them, and if it does, then I will continue, hopefully.
Good for you. Well, let's hope that dream comes true for you. So, okay, so let's talk now about some of the resources that you have. Now you have an extensive list of resources on your website.
We do. We have a website, and on that website is a list of resources that can be some things that people need when they are either looking to move into Nevada, or if they have a new baby or a child with Down syndrome and they're looking for some resources. One in particular is our First 5 Nevada.
Uh-huh.
I always like giving them a plug because financial needs and navigating the system of what support is out there if you have a child with significant medical or developmental needs. First 5 Nevada is a really great site for people to go to and do that. So we try and promote them as well. And then we also have on our website resources for providers who are delivering a Down syndrome diagnosis. And it's a sensitive topic because many providers don't have an extensive experience. They maybe deliver 1 or 2 babies every 3 years with Down syndrome. So it's not something they're consistently doing. So we offer them some support and resources to help them with their best practices to deliver a Down syndrome diagnosis that delivers the information, but is not so scary sometimes to people. And then we also offer a HIPAA compliant form so they can fill that out, refer their patient to us, and we step in with answering whatever questions that person has and listening to them and what they have for their needs.
Nice. Okay.
I have to say, in my own personal experience with Sterling, we did not know in utero, and I really wish that we had that resource because they were very hush-hush about it at the hospital. There was not a good experience. It was very scary, and you can feel very alone. So I love that aspect of our organization, that we do that to welcome and know that it's not scary and you're not alone and it's okay.
Yes.
So very, very happy.
And
Yes.
we've developed this through some national resources that are available, including Down syndrome pregnancy, including the First Call Center, which is in Massachusetts, but it handles a lot of different genetic conditions. So those people have developed these over the years, and we are just providing them to our local providers so that they have that resource. And then also a video and some CE classes for providers so that they can get educated and help deliver a good diagnosis when people have Down syndrome.
Wow. Wow. You have so much stuff going on. It's amazing. It's amazing what you have. I don't know how many people are there within that are involved with Down syndrome connections.
So we have over 455 on our website. I'm sorry, on our private Facebook group. We have another 350 on our mailing list.
Wow.
So they kind of can wash back and forth. We do a text chain, and then our conference attendees are, between 150, around 150 every year. And so not all of those groups are the same. So I think probably what surprises me most is that we have two other organizations in town that also help people with Down syndrome. One is Gigi's Playhouse Las Vegas, down in Henderson, and the Down Syndrome Organization of Southern Nevada. And oftentimes I will see photos from those groups and I will say, I have never met that person before.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of room for growth and collaboration and just reaching out to provide different needs to different people.
Yes.
And we really have been very blessed with the growth that we've seen over the years.
Yes. Good for you. Good for you. We're going to take another sponsorship break. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to come back and talk about World Down Syndrome Day coming up on March the 21st and what Down Syndrome Connections is doing in connection with World Down Syndrome Day. Got that right.
Good job.
Stay with us.
Tariffs, pandemics, rising inflation. The Joshua Dowden team is ready when volatility happens. Markets fluctuate for reasons nobody can control. Don't let the headlines drive your financial plan. The Joshua Dowden team at Priority Wealth Partners has served Summerlin retirees for 3 decades. Our 5-tier risk management strategy matches our strategies with your goals, with plans designed for your assets to be there when you need them. Conveniently located at the heart of downtown Summerlin. Call Joshua Dowden today or visit DowdenFinancialServices.com.
Welcome back, everyone. And once again, I'd like to thank Lisa, Felicia, Savannah, and Sterling for being with us. He's having such fun with that ladder over there.
His favorite thing.
It seems to be his favorite thing. He always seems to be playing with that. So keeps him amused. So we've got World Down Syndrome coming day on March the 21st, and that's going to be when this show is airing. So now, how long has World Down Syndrome Day been around? Do you know? Has it been quite a few years?
It's been maybe since 2006, I want to say, when the United Nations put that together.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It might have been 2009. I'm not sure in my mind.
Well, they have their own website address, and we're going to put that up on the screen so people can go and check out World Down Syndrome Day and certainly if they live in the other parts of the globe and they're listening to this program, there might be something that they can see on the international website that will help them. But now you have a big event coming up that day. So would you like to share with us what Down Syndrome Connections is doing on March the 21st?
We are so excited. Our board and the Gigi's Playhouse Las Vegas board have gotten together to put a joint celebration together.
Nice.
It will be at the Gigi's Playhouse in Henderson, Nevada, on March 21st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we are going to have food and fun and games. And then we're going to do a very special 3-minute, 21-second mashup dance party for everybody to enjoy and celebrate World Down Syndrome Day for 3 minutes and 21 seconds, which designates the 3rd chromosome on the 21st pair, which is the condition known as trisomy 21 or Down syndrome.
Wow. Oh, that sounds like you put a lot of thought into that program, and
Yes, and being able to celebrate together with the other parts of our community is just really special. We work so well with Gigi's Playhouse and all that they have to offer. So we decided to all go together this year and make it a big celebration.
Okay. And now people are going to have to sign up for this event? Do they need to go and get tickets ahead of time, or can they just pitch up on the day? Or
They can get registration in advance, please, so we know how much food to have.
okay.
And we will be, you can do that on our website, which is dscnv.com is the short version, or downsyndromeconnections.org. And it's right on the front page, registration for World Down Syndrome Day. It'll take you to a Zephy link where you get your free registration and you can buy a t-shirt.
Oh, okay, cool. How cool is that? So, so you've got that event coming up, and do you have any other? Well, you just recently had the pancake breakfast. Do you have any more of those coming up this year? Or do you have any other events?
I will let
coming up?
Felicia talk a little bit about our Pancakes with Princesses and Superheroes event, because I'm still smiling. I don't know if I can stop smiling for another 3 months because it's such a great event we just
It's
finished.
a lot
Yes.
of fun. We get a bunch of princesses and superheroes and more. There was Elastigirl there. It's a lot of fun, and you get tickets, and it's held at an Applebee's. We do this once a year.
Okay.
And it's just a big party. I mean, it's fun. The kids get their pictures. They're in awe. We even had law enforcement there this year. We're so grateful for that. They brought their cyber
Yes.
truck. Spruce came from the aviators. And, you have pancakes, and you just enjoy and walk around and get your pictures. And it's just a really great time. And
Yes.
I really am happy about the one we just had. I think it was the best one yet.
Yes.
And it was a great turnout. And also it was just very, I don't know, we really felt the support from the community, I think, which is very touching for me. So,
Maybe you'll start considering having it twice a year.
oh, maybe.
Well, we love that all the little kids come to eat their breakfast and dressed up as their favorite princess
Favorite,
or
yes.
prince or superhero too. So it's a ton of fun. And we know that there are events out there similar to that, but ours is a lot less expensive. And we just seem to have such a great response from the costume character community. We
Yes.
really want to thank the organization. So maybe Felicia can name.
Yeah, Critical Care Comics. And we also have Cosplayers Alliance, and then Fairy Tales, Heroes and Fairy Tales Las Vegas,
Uh-huh.
and Elastigirl, and Captain Jack Sparrow was there. That was very exciting.
Uh-huh.
So we are just very grateful of their support for this
Absolutely.
event,
Yes.
and they just helped make it a success. Without them, we couldn't even do it. So,
No.
and of course, law enforcement, which we are very grateful. It's the first time we've had them there, and I think that made a big difference too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you've acknowledged these organizations. We're always happy to plug those that are out there giving you the support that you need to make these things happen.
One of the things that we do at Princess Pancakes is we have to have so many volunteers to help our servers, because we have to serve a lot of breakfast. We don't have to cook it or plate it, but we have to bring it to our people.
Uh-huh.
So we end up getting a lot of volunteers for that day. And of course, for our conference, always need volunteers. So there is a link on our website as well if people want to volunteer to help us out, because we really love our volunteers.
We're
Yes.
so grateful for
Yes.
them.
Well, that segues into my next question. Are you totally manned by volunteers, or do you have paid staff and volunteers?
You can talk about it.
It's all volunteers.
Oh.
Nobody gets paid in the organization, and I
Wow.
gotta say, everybody plays a really good and important role. I feel like this woman right here, Lisa, is the most magical. She does so much stuff. I don't even know how she does it all, but yeah, it's all voluntary, and I mean, she's the heart of this organization, and we're so grateful for her. And all of us together make a really great team.
We're very blessed, and our board is made up of a lot of people. Not everybody on our board has a person with Down syndrome themselves in their family, but they do have some connection to Down syndrome through an interest that they have, or somebody that they know, like Sterling. But what I really challenge people in our organization to do is to lead instead of being led, because in a volunteer organization, your volunteers have a life and have their own interests. And when they can align their interests with furthering the goals of the organization, that's when they really shine. Felicia has done a tremendous job in that, and every single board member has taken that step to lead instead of being led, which makes the organization a really successful one.
Sure. There's one thing I did want to mention before we wrap up this program. You do have dance classes on Mondays, right? Now, is that every Monday?
Well, it was not this Monday because the place that we hold it is at Mirabelli Community Center, which is a City of Las Vegas facility. So they were closed for President's Day.
Yes.
But we, every Monday that they are open, have a dance class for anybody. So you don't have to have Down syndrome. You don't have to have special needs to come and do a 1 hour dance class, which is fitness, fun, and then also building friendships amongst people who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we sit down, we do expressive and receptive communication skills with our individuals who have some kind of disability or not, and really grow those friendships among the people. Every once in a while, we do a little performance, but everybody sweats. Everybody sweats. It is definitely a workout for people with Down syndrome. And as Felicia had mentioned earlier in the program, it's sometimes difficult for people with Down syndrome to get movement going because they do have low muscle tone. And every time you move your muscle when you have Down syndrome, it takes you a much greater amount of energy to move. So sometimes we need a little help getting people to move.
Making it fun helps.
And that information is also on your website, the times and the dates and the location, which leads us to, please, could you share with us your website and your phone and email, any contact information you want to share with our viewers?
Yes. So the phone number, the general phone number for Down Syndrome Connections is 702-875-5007. But I believe your producer is also going to put up our Spanish number, and we have Spanish speaking members, and we have somebody who specifically speaks Spanish so that if you have a baby with Down syndrome and you don't speak English, they are able to be handled and supported through our Spanish speaking board member, Waldina Tapia.
Okay. And your website address is?
The easiest one is DSCNV, so Down Syndrome Connections Nevada, but also DownSyndromeConnections.org. That's just a long one to spell out.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, taking time out of your day to be with us. I know you're volunteers, but you also have other things to do to occupy your lives. So thank you for helping raise awareness of what your organization does and sharing with the viewers, and wish you continued success in the future with your programs, and you, Savannah, with your book. Look forward to it coming out, and we'll get some book signings lined up for you too.
Yes.
So thank you all for being with us today.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to thank our station owner and show's producer, John Stiles, for allowing me to host this program. It's really appreciated. And I'd also like to thank our sponsors, without whom we would not be able to have this program. They're Priority Wealth Partners, Pacific Coast Capital, the Firelight Barn, my late business partner, Ralph Champion. You'll hear his message at the end of this program. It is his legacy. And finally, of course, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. If any of you would like to volunteer with this organization, they would love to have you, or support them at their conference later this year. It would certainly be appreciated. And if you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me, Stephen, at thegiftofgiving.vegas. And in the meantime, please stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you back soon. Bye for now.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDBTV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.